Greetings, or what is up, and a very warm welcome to the channel. The sun is shining and the magpie is casting. Coming at you guys right now with a live 1 versus 1 battle featuring spawning in the south. It is going to be the Wehrmacht forces of TR Expensive Runner. And spawning in the north, it's going to be the United Kingdom forces of OP. And the map is going to be Langreskaya, a classic, absolutely brutal, very close range map, which I have not cast for a long time, so looking forward to seeing another fantastic battle on this map. One of the things I really like about this map is it actually feels like this is one of the very few maps in the game where it is possible to decisively shove your opponent out of the game. If you have significantly the upper hand, this can be one of those maps where the game doesn't run on for the extra sort of 12 or 15 minutes where you sort of crush your opponent out of the game with an insurmountable advantage. This can be just one of those maps where you can just kill them because their base is right there. The cutoff points are so easy to access, and it's just it just feels like this is one of the easier maps to just finish the game on. So yeah, that's quite nice. Looks like both of these players are going to go ahead and pick their commanders very rapidly here. We've got the Assault Doctrine here, or Mechanized Assault Doctrine, for our Wehrmacht player, so he's going to have access to the Assault Grenadiers. You can see them on the field already. Options for the Tiger Tank and the Stug E later on in this game. So yeah, we'll have to see exactly how Expensive Runner is going to be using those. Looks like for OP, we've got the Royal Engineer Regiment. So we've got the Flamethrower option, Command Vehicle option, Vehicle Crew Repair, Anti-Vehicle, Flame Mortar Support, and of course the Ava. This is probably one hell of a map for the Ava. It's so small that the Ava's slow speed isn't so much of a handicap, and it can pretty much always be relevant no matter where a fight is happening on the map. So definitely a dominating heavy tank to have later on in the game. I mean, I'm open to seeing a late game where we see a Tiger take on an Ava. This could be a fun game, but we have to get there first, and the initial scuffles are getting underway. Assault Grenadiers going to use their sprint ability to get on in. Is it just called sprint? It is just called sprint. 10 munitions the cost on that. Just refreshing myself on how these abilities work and are costed, because it's been quite a long time since I cast. Yep, still don't have a new mouse. Sorry about that, everyone. Basically, I'm at the stage where I've accepted that I need a new mouse, but I have not selected a new mouse to get. I mean, as you all know, I'm assuming that you're all like pretty nerdy and or like gamers generally, so you all know choosing a mouse, it's not an easy thing. You've got to choose one that works for you, and everyone has their own preferences. Personally, I prefer quite a simple and light mouse. I don't like it to be overburdened with buttons. I like a button on each side of the mouse, and obviously I like 2 mouse buttons and a mouse wheel. Beyond that, it all just kind of gets a bit annoying for me. And I kind of like a smaller mouse because of the way I hold my mouse. So I'm looking around. I'm sure I'll find some suitable hardware at some point. Looks like we've got the Bren Universal Carrier moving out onto the field. Vickers K upgrade has been chosen on that unit. So we're gonna see here how OP is gonna police the field using his light vehicle here. Looks like he's gonna transition over into the east of map here. Did see a unit, but there's going to be an immediate fallback here off of Expensive Runner. Not interested in trading manpower for capping time from his Assault Grenadiers, and that does make sense. And it looks like we've got a German sniper coming out onto the field here. So pretty early sniper, traditionally effective against UKF, who do have head-for-head relatively expensive infantry here. So plenty of opportunities for a German sniper to vet up in a timely manner here, and we're going to have to see how Expensive Runner's sniper micro is here. Let's get a shot of the German marksman. Here he is moving out onto the field. Obviously has to be very careful. I mean, when I was last casting, scout cars and light vehicles such as the Bren Carrier used to do bonus damage to sniper marksmen, so you have to assume if the sniper is fired upon by the Bren Carrier, it will probably be pretty brutal for the sniper. So, yep. Hopefully hopefully Expensive Runner is going to be able to insulate his expensive infantrymen from the ravages of the British light vehicle. And a couple of headshots already accruing up on that sniper, so very nice stuff there. UKF, though, penetrating down the western flank and taking a good amount of the map right now. Going to grab fuel from the German player, and this resource differential will definitely serve the UKF very well. I feel like UKF of the allied factions are the most similar to Wehrmacht. There are a lot of similarities between a lot of analogs between the two factions. I feel like the way they tech and the way they play is very similar. I mean, it's not identical, of course. I'm just saying it's the most similar. And so any fuel differential, I feel like this is the most like a mirror match. And those resource differences tend to be the most pronounced in mirror matches or matches, just like traditionally in RTS. Like, I know that we don't see a lot of mirror matches in Company of Heroes, of course. So anyway, yeah. that fuel is going to be vital. It means that, you know, a potential Cromwell going to be on the field much sooner than a potential Panzer IV, and since those units are fairly similar, I mean, it's just going to be a good thing for the player with the most fuel. Looks like we've got a sniper here coming out from our allied player as well, so this is going to be super interesting. We get to have a marksman off, the Scottish matey here with his boys 50 cal anti-materiel rifle is going to be coming onto the field. Looks like we've got a call in here of the artillery package. Wow, getting a nice hit on these pioneers as well. So the artillery package being called in from these Tommies. That's some really nice stuff. This sniper just standing around in the open, but taking shots, up to 4 headshots on that guy now. The guy from Scotland coming in, cunningly set to hold fire, and of course, expensive runner is not going to be aware that this unit has been picked until the first shot is fired. So there is a moment here where the British sniper can attempt to counter-snipe the German marksman. Now you can see the range on the British sniper, it's highlighted right now. German marksman is in the hood, but not immediately threatened. So I imagine we're going to see OP just leave this guy here until the German sniper reveals himself and attempt to go for the counter-snipe. Now, historically, as a caster, I've been incredibly proficient, borderline elite at missing sniper deaths. So just trust me, it's well within my capabilities to absolutely miss the showdown between these two snipers as the game goes forward. So yeah, I mean, I will obviously try to catch it on the camera, but just like don't be too alarmed when I screw it up massively. And I'm like later on, like probably 5 minutes after the sniper dies, I'll be like, "What happened to the German marksman?" or something. That's kind of a Magpie specialty, but I'm on it. You know, I ever aspire to be a better caster, so I'm going to try and keep an eye on the position of these two snipers and hopefully not miss either of them dying. It gets much harder when there's like a mortar squad or something on the field, because then I just feel like the snipers can just suddenly die when you just kind of weren't looking. But there is no such mortar squad on the field right now, so hopefully I'll catch it. Tommy's fanning out on the map now, and you can see from the mini-map in the bottom left, it's been pretty much going UKF, the way of the United Kingdom forces this game so far. A decent amount of ground captured, a decent score lead opened up, although we are only 7.5 minutes into this game. And I quite like the force composition here from the allied player as well. So good stuff here from OP. We're going to see a 2-2-2 coming onto the field momentarily. That'll be a nice answer for the British sniper that Expensive Runner doesn't know about, and also a very nice answer for the scout car here. So that's a nice choice there. This mouse. That's a nice choice there. 2 squads of assault grenadiers now. Going to be enough to shove these Tommies out of the hood. German sniper is moving forwards, but he's being played very cautiously, which I like. I mean, you have to play it cautiously. A Faust does come through onto the scout car here, and wow, Assault Grenadier is going to use sprint. He really wants to take this fight in mid. The 2-2-2 going to come in to support as well, and UKF, I just don't think they have the numbers here. They're going to have to fall back. The sniper potentially in jeopardy. He does get revealed, so Expensive Runner knows now there's not going to be the chance for counter snipe, and that could be massive as we move forward here. The information war, a crucial blow being dealt here to OP. Oh, and now in the physical war, a crucial blow being dealt. That unit there just getting, the Bren carrier getting taken out as my phone starts going off. This is a bad time. I'm just going to have to call them back after the cast is done. And, yeah. I'm just going to put my phone where it won't distract me, because it's like flashing away in the corner of my vision. So, okay, yeah, so a really nice fight there being taken by Expensive Runner. He manages to open up the map, gets his units out onto the map. The artillery call-in going to be used here, but yeah, really nice. He reveals his opponent's sniper, which is, I feel, probably going to be absolutely massive. The difference between having your first shot from the UKF sniper kill the German sniper and your first shot, like, not doing that, basically, has a massive impact on the flow of the early and mid-game, and, you know, that's a really pivotal moment there. It might not look like much, but it's a pivotal moment there for the German player, kind of defusing the counter-snipe potential there. So that's really nice. 2-2-2 gets a bit hampered, gonna have to be called back for repairs, but that's fine. Heavy boom boom coming in here. Gonna force the German forces to yield this area for now. How many headshots do we have on the Axis sniper now? 6, so creeping his way up the kill board. Still not a shot, actually no shots fired yet from the Soviets, from the UKF sniper. Looks like the Assault Grenadier is going to make another push into mid, and still holding fire as this British sniper. He really, really wants to keep his head down and look out for that German sniper. And we've got a Centaur coming up here from the UKF. We've also got a mechanized assault group coming in from Expensive Runner. Now, I mean, obviously this Centaur is going to be quite the headache. He doesn't have a pack gun. Does he have the tech building? He does, so he can build a pack gun. That's going to be probably going to be a choice that we see taken moving forward. He does have enough munitions to buy Shreks for his Panzer Grenadiers as well. So here we can see Company Command Post is online. Centaur being chosen here for 100 fuel for our UKF player. And this is a map that, for the same reason in a way that the Ava, this is a fine map for the Ava, it's a good map for the Centaur as well. The map is very small, which means that the Centaur's low speed is mitigated to a large extent. It never takes long for the Centaur to roll into a position where it's going to be relevant in any fight being taken. So that's pretty good. God damn, this sniper being so patient. Just standing around. Oh, he's going to try and get away here. Is he going to get shot? No, he's fine. Just transitions to another piece of cover, waiting for the German marksman. The German marksman also playing things pretty defensive right now. And wow, if I crack the tack, we can have a look at the situation here. Like, the German forces are overrunning pretty hard, taking massive amounts of field control. The British forces are cut off. The resource differential now firmly in the Axis favour. But the Centaur comes in. And that causes a massive fallback of Axis forces from the middle of the map. And right now, there is not really a particularly good answer for the Centaur on the field. So this Centaur has full reign of the field and is just able to just butcher Axis infantry wherever it can find them. Has the speed on this thing been increased? It looks a little bit faster than I remember. There we go, causing a third fallback of Axis infantry. Going to even pursue these Grenadiers if it can. Just picking off some additional models, getting a little bit of extra veterancy, so very nice stuff there. Now, are we going to see Shreks come down on these Panzergrens? Yep, Shreks have been purchased, so there we go. There's an answer now for the Centaur in those Shreks. I mean, it's not the best answer, and of course the Centaur does answer the Panzer Grenadiers as well, so it comes down to the positioning and the decisions ahead of the fight. Yep. The Axis player does not have the tools he needs to potentially deal with the Centaur, and if we see a Faust come down onto the Centaur, then it's truly open. The 222 here, gonna bait the Centaur across. And there we go, the opening salvo. Wow, this 250 half-track actually a little bit more durable than I thought under fire from the Centaur. Wow, the Panzergrens have to get out of it now. They have to get out! Oh wow, he doesn't dismount his infantry in time. So 3 of the Panzergrens go up in the blaze. The Centaur's going to reposition. Of course, he desperately wants the squad wipe on this squad. That would be huge if he's able to get it. OP coming in deep with the Centaur right now. God damn, he really wants this, but he's going to get a Faust for his trouble, and the Panzer Grenadiers are going to be able to get out of there. Actually, he doesn't get Fausted. Wow, okay. I thought for sure that a Faust was going to come down off of those Grenadiers. But OP able to get his Centaur out of there. A worthy dive taken there, but in the end, unable to secure the kill on those Panzer Grenadiers means that both the Panzer Grens and the Centaur are going to limp away and live to fight another day. In the meantime, the Scottish sniper here has actually still not fired any shots, but he has been capping, so he has at least been providing some utility to the UKF. The German sniper likewise hanging back. And I think because both players know that the other player has a sniper, the effectiveness of these snipers has effectively been sort of cancelled out, and we're not actually seeing a lot of work being done by either sniper. Trenches being built in a useful positions here for the UKF. There's also a Vickers MG coming out, which will make life so much harder for these Grenadiers and Assault Grenadiers as this game moves on. Grenade barrage going to come down into these trenches. That's nice stuff. But OP is fully aware of it, dodges the Tommies out, and the Centaur is here in a covering position, and that is going to completely halt the Axis advance. We've got a pack gun on the field, another tool here for our Axis player in the fight against this Centaur. There is fighting in the north as well. Looks like a squad of Pioneers going to be pushed back, and some Tommies going to start reclaiming ground. Expensive Runner done a good job of getting himself back in the game in terms of ground control right now, redressing the balance of resource differential. Still under a double cap though, and coming up to be what, about 80 tickets behind his UKF opponent right now as we move into what is firmly the mid game, or the mid game I suppose. So yeah, Expensive Runner doing his best here, going to get a second pack gun, and I do like the choice. We'll go and have a look at the tech in a second. Let's have a check. So, no sign of Battle Phase 2, pretty much says to me that he's going to be saving for a Panther. Sorry, a Tiger. And that is a difficult choice. Looks like the German sniper going to reveal himself here, taking a couple more shots, up to 9 kills, nearly a star of veterancy on him, so good work. But yeah, saving up for a Tiger, I mean, we're quite a long way away from a Tiger. Do you really want to just be trying to use infantry-based solutions to deal with the Centaur for that long? I don't know, but it's been working so far, I've got to say, actually. The Centaur's been on the field for a number of minutes now. Still doesn't have his first star of veterancy, only 8 infantry kills to its name. quite damaged. It is being controlled by the Shreks and the Pack Guns. And you know what? I think if there's a map where you can do this against a Centaur, this is it. Because with just a couple of Pack Guns, you can actually lock down the middle of map. And then, you know, you can use your Panzerschreck infantry to basically just corral this Centaur. So I actually don't mind the decision at all. Whoa, some crazy anti-grav technology going on there. But yeah, I actually really like the way that Expensive Runner is handling this. It is a fragile solution, and if the Centaur ever gets a flank on those AT guns, things start looking really bad for the Axis player really fast. But, you know, this is a map where that shouldn't really happen, and it seems like these two players both are sufficiently high level that I can't imagine either of them are going to make a mistake that would enable those Pack Guns to get destroyed by the Centaur. MG42 in a nice position, going to slow these Tommies down as they push across cover, itself being suppressed by the Vickers in the trench here. In the west of map, UKF are pushing to get a triple cap, and that's pretty massive right now. Looks like this game could probably come down to tickets. We've got extended skirmishing just going on in the middle of map here. That Centaur on low health, the Pack Guns desperately trying to find a shot, but they're not going to get it. So they do push back for now. Looks like a 6-pounder AT gun going to be moving up for the UKF as well, just as a way of pushing back that 222. And of course, as future insurance, I mean, as the British player, you have to be thinking to yourself, you know, the Axis player is stacking a lot of fuel. He could probably make a tech choice at some point. And we do have Battle Phase 2 coming down, speaking of which, so probably some incoming Axis armor. So that 6-pounder AT gun, a little early right now, but is definitely going to be useful in a couple of minutes here. Royal Engineers sent in to have a look at stealing a Pack Gun. They're not going to get it, and that's fine. Star of Veterancy and 10 kills now on the German Sniper, who's going to continue getting headshots here. And we've got a Cromwell on the queue for our UKF player, so I think with a Cromwell and a Centaur on the field, this is going to get very difficult for our Axis player, who, it's safe to say, is sufficiently pushed back. I would love to see a mortar come out for our Axis player, actually, because this trench with the Vickers in is proving such a headache. As long as this trench with the Vickers is intact, then I feel like it's basically impossible to challenge the OP's control of mid-map. And if you're not challenging mid-map on Langreskaya, you're going to lose. As you can see here, under a triple cap now, and like the best he can hope for is to be under a double cap, I think, Expensive Runner, till he somehow finds a solution for this trench, or these trenches, but really it's this trench that's the problem. Every time he pushes in, his infantry is going to get slowed down and then eviscerated by the Centaur. More trenches coming down, loving OP's style here. So, yeah, this is pretty cool. And this is some pretty solid, some very sturdy UKF play. Now, hopefully there's going to be time in this game, even if he's unable to displace that trench, that Expensive Runner will be able to get a Tiger, and the Tiger will be able to threaten that trench, obviously. So, I mean, that seems like a pretty bad way of doing it. You sacrifice a lot of your tickets if you wait for the Tiger to deal with that trench. So I would love to see a mortar. To be honest, I even wonder if a mortar is enough. It's not like he has any other call-ins. Oh, he has the light artillery barrage. But you don't, I don't know, 100 munitions. That's quite a lot. So anyway, coming in here, grabs the cut-off point here, does Expensive Runner. That's nice stuff. The Centaur and a couple of squads of Tommies going to be used to answer the Axis units here. Wow, the German Sniper going to come forward here. Very risky stuff. The Scottish Sniper moves into mid. 15 kills now on this Sniper. It's looking pretty smart. Pack Gun manages to find a position where it can take some shots at the Centaur, misses its opening shot though, gets the second one to hit, so that's nice. Desperately wants to get more veterancy onto these Pack Guns right now, does Expensive Runner. How do you break these positions? Even using some charges to take care of these line of sight blockers here is really nice stuff, enabling his trenches to penetrate into this area here, which is traditionally safe for the south spawning player. And here we have a Stug E coming onto the field, so there we go. That'll be why Battle Phase 2 was being researched. And I like the Stug E here. This is a really nice answer. This is actually much better than a mortar. I forgot that he could build Stug E's when I said about the mortar. Yeah, this is much better than the mortar. It answers the trenches really nicely. It's much more difficult to take down. Here we go. Flomp, and this is how we start dealing with entrenched allied positions. With an assault gun. This is what these things were designed to do, and it's a thing that they can do really well. In fact, even using the trench here to start flamethrowering forwards. This is really nice stuff, actually. Some really nice anti-trench warfare going on here. Keep an eye on the mini-map. Axis forces are being active over on the west quadrant of the map, so worth Actually, you know what? I say that, they're all mostly idle, because he's kind of captured all of that area of the map. So some nice stuff here. Expensive Runner making a really determined effort to access a portion of the map that OP has made very difficult to assault. Now the Centaur moves forward. Allied troops in the trenches are going to get shredded by the anti-aircraft cannon on that unit. The Stug E feels that it's a little cut off and has to retreat, and it does so in good time. Looks like some Allied artillery going to be raining in on... Yeah, that's Allied artillery for sure, and that means that he has the hammer... No, sorry, the anvil doctrine, because we've got the air-bursting frag rounds coming in. Whoa, has to be a bit careful. Some friendly fire in danger of coming down here. Whoa, the Stug E also kind of caught out a little bit here. I don't think the Centaur can threaten the Stug E super badly, although it did get some good damage onto it there. Whoa, this Stug E finds itself like sandwiched up against these bunkers. That's actually really bad. Okay, he's going to get away with that unit. Meanwhile, the Axis sniper gets caught out in a bad position, has to fall back right now. Where's the... Okay, so he's not... There was a moment here where I was worried that the Scottish sniper might be able to get a shot onto this guy, but he's not going to be able to, so that's kind of okay. 200 points remaining for the Axis player, which you can now see, and he is kind of running out of time here. Despite that attack into mid, which initially started looking so nice, OP has deflected it nicely. He still holds this position. The Vickers of Doom is still in this troublesome position right in the middle of the map, and now we have an Ava on them. Sorry, it's a Churchill tank. A Churchill? Wow, I haven't seen a Churchill for so long. Infantry support smoke, crew self-defense, crew repairs, prioritize vehicles, and hold fire, of course. Okay, just familiarizing myself with what this Churchill actually does. I think I actually really like the Churchill on this map. It's so tough, it's really hard to deal with, and it's not super slow either. So it actually is going to be a really nice fast response unit. So as soon as Expensive Runner makes a play that looks like it could be an issue for our UKF player, he can just commit the Churchill to solve things so well. It can relocate to either flank very quickly. It can take quite a lot of abuse, and that it is now. You can see it just soaking up pack rounds with a very little care in the world. A mortar squad was purchased here for Expensive Runner, but it's going to get massacred almost immediately. This is ultra brutal stuff. The Scottish sniper finally been given the order to loose rounds into this Axis force, and he is snapping off German heads here. German sniper comes forward looking for the shot. These two snipers are within range of one another. This is dangerous times. Woo! And the Stug E also firing awfully close to these German units. Wow. Okay, so as the smoke literally clears, it seems that Expensive Runner still under the gun here. About to be back under a triple cap. He's at 152 under 430, and it feels like he's just not quite been able to take this midline of the map in any meaningful way. Although, it looks like he's finally displaced the Allied forces out of these trenches, so this is the first time in a long time I feel like Expensive Runner has a window here. The UKF just too battered, too bruised to continue the fight. Many units having to fall back, reinforce, rearm, heal, repair the tanks. So there's a moment here where Expensive Runner can take middle of field, and on Langreskaya, that is everything. So I'd love to see him push a little bit harder with the MG42. Get the MG42 up into this trench. And really try and dominate the field. Of course, he doesn't have the information that we as observers have. He doesn't know he has full field control, so he has to advance cautiously right now, and that he's doing. But if he could get his MG42 into a more central position, that would be so good. I'd love to see him do that. And we're getting close now to where it could be Tiger time. That is 230 fuel. And it also, I believe it also requires Battle Phase 3, so it's basically like 255 fuel right now. So anyway, artillery calling going to be used here. It's the light artillery barrage, going to force back British forces, buying the Axis a lot more time to secure positions in mid. Where is the MG42? Push this thing forward, bro. You need it. You need this thing. It's like Expensive Runner is setting up his line here, where I would really love him to set up his line here and just kind of keep the British player fighting at the doorstep of his base, which Langreskaya is all about that. Langreskaya is all about holding the mid-ground and forcing your opponent to fight from the doorstep of their base. And that's why it can feel like such a disheartening and brutal map to play, because oftentimes it just feels like you can't get out of your base. This is the kind of thing I'm talking about. Push units up into positions where they are defensible, but also threaten your opponent's units as soon as they move out. So I like the Panzer Grenadiers being ready to jump into this building. That means they can get some damage down onto an Allied vehicle as soon as they move out. We've got Allied air forces on the map. What is that? Some kind of Allied... Oh, is this... Okay, you know what? I actually don't know what this vehicle is. It appears to be some sort of scout vehicle or something. This is probably part of one of the British stratagems that I have forgotten what it is. Anyway, Churchill going to expose itself to heavy fire right now. Axis forces actually declining to capture this VP. They're going to run past it. Uh-oh, I think that could be a misclick here from Expensive Runner. A nice battle this. Whoa, Pat Gun's in a good position. Where's the MG42? Okay, so there's two MG42s now, and they are pushing forwards. This is better. This is better. This MG42, I'm not sure about the positioning on this one, to be honest. I think like maybe here is going to be better or something. I just don't like it being this far back. But, oh no, and this one also quite far back. I thought he was at least going to creep it up to there. If he could get it into this building, or, well, I guess there's British forces in position now. So the opportunity is gone. And if we get a Vickers gun back in this trench, I think life's just going to go back to being super hard for the UKF. Speaking of life being super hard for the UK, sorry, for the Axis. Speaking of life being super hard for the Axis, we've got another Churchill on the queue. Oh man, I don't think I've ever seen double Churchill just like in my entire casting career ever. Like who honestly goes for double Churchill? Like no one. Anyway, that Churchill is going to be forced back, takes a battering from the Pat Guns, has to fall back. Axis forces active and unopposed in west, and finally getting himself out from under the victory point pressure right now is Expensive Runner. So he has a moment to breathe here as long as he can hold on to 2 or more of these points. Centaur going to push forward, that thing up to 2 stars of veterancy now, very nice. And Allied forces make a determined push across the middle of the map. We're going to pan the camera so we can see the entire battlefield here. The Axis sniper is just standing in the open right now, and he's so close to sniping range of this British sniper. He has to be so careful. Anyway, where's that Centaur? I want to know what the veterancy bonuses are. Strafing fire and movement speed and rotation speed. So some useful upgrades there for sure for the Centaur. This Stug E also proving useful here, forcing back the AT guns and continuing to besiege this very troublesome trench, which is on its last legs now actually. Rifle grenade coming through, another Stug E shell, this trench nearly destroyed, and that will be quite a victory, I feel like, for Expensive Runner. He's gonna get the machine gun crew. Wow, finally killing one of these, killing the only machine gun, that's so nice. So that's going to force OP to replace that if he wants to still have a machine gun, which on Langreskaya is a pretty handy unit to have. No fighting going on whatsoever in west of map, so that's just going to stay in Axis hands for the time being, more or less. Churchill going to come forward, threatening the Stug E, but there are Shreks in the hood. It's not going to get tagged though, it's using its infantry, is that called infantry support smoke? Yeah, infantry support smoke. Pretty useful ability that, to be sure. Stug E in need of repairs here. Do we have any Pioneers in the hood? No, they are reinforcing, getting ready to come back onto the field. Do we have Tech 3? No sign of Tech 3. He could take the the Tiger Tank. Oh, he could just take it without Tech 3? Oh, maybe you only need Tech 2 then. Well, whatever. Tiger Tank is here, ladies and gentlemen. The big cat moving out onto the field. And that's going to redress the balance of power significantly. We're going to have to see exactly how OP elects to move forward and dealing with this terrifying Axis unit. He does have 2 Churchill tanks. That will help, but the Tiger is quite well suited to dealing with Churchills. It outranges and outpowers them, so with sensible micro, this Tiger could be the unit to enable Axis forces to just slow push through mid and then dominate the field. And actually, if you look in the bottom left, check out that mini-map. It's looking pretty nice. So looking pretty nice for the Axis player. So we're at the 28-minute mark in this game. Look at the top left, look at the top right. Have a think about whose army you prefer. Take into account the victory points, just like who do you think is ahead right now? This is an interesting battle. UKF basically at unit cap, so he can't just build a Firefly, which, okay, so here's how I think this game goes. He's going to fight until he loses a Churchill, replace it with a Firefly, and then UKF has the advantage again. So I think that there's just a window of opportunity for Axis to do some work until one of these allied tanks dies, and then I think a Firefly comes in. And again, with Langreskaya being so small, the Firefly is always going to have range on that Tiger whenever the Tiger commits to a fight. And that makes life really, really hard for the Axis tanks. So we'll have to see if that's how the battle's going to look. But that's my gut feel on this one. Alternatively, I mean, can you really cobble together a kill on a Tiger tank with Churchills? I just don't think you can, right? I don't know. I just feel like that doesn't happen. Oh my goodness, this Stug E. I would love for him to be able to get another Stug E. If he felt like spending his next unit's worth of resources on another Stug E, I would love that, because this Stug E is doing such work. And if he had twice as many shells being flailed forwards, that would be so good. But the anti-tank gun does acquire the Stug here momentarily. It's on low health. Oh my goodness me. That was a little bit close. Looks like artillery call-in being used here, but Expensive Runner is cognizant of it. He's going to get his units out of there. It's an incendiary barrage, no less. So this is the ability, 7.95 inch flame mortar support we see coming in here. Going to be used to basically force a lot of Axis units out of position. I have missed the Axis sniper dying because I'm so good at this game. As promised, Magpie delivers. But there's been a lot of action going on, and to be fair, we're at the stage in the game now where one Axis sniper is actually just not that relevant. Whoa, the Tiger tank coming forward, getting super brave, really wants a piece of this AT gun, doesn't really care about the Churchills, but you really need to respect those tanks a bit. You don't want to feed them any more veterancy than you have to. Looks like the Churchill pushes forward. Target weak point, I think, coming down. No, I don't know if that was target weak point. I don't think it was, actually. But anyway, the two pack guns here, going to check the advance of the British heavies. Tiger tank still hurling damage forward, but it's something like nearly 50% HP, actually. This Tiger is in desperate need of repairs. It doesn't have a lot of veterancy to show for it, so not being the most efficient Tiger so far. Man, what a difficult time. What a difficult time for both of these two players. 121 tickets right now for expensive runner, 269 for OP. And this is definitely a game where the next decisive battle... Whoa, I think the Tiger just hit some mines. Uh-oh, the UKF player knows about this. The anti-tank sniper coming forward. A Churchill coming in for a look at this Tiger. This could be really bad, but two pack guns in a lovely position will definitely save the Tiger. Whoa, a lot of damage being dealt onto that. There comes the target weak point round, but that Churchill is safe. I want to say that Churchill is safe.
Now capture point.
Yeah.
They're trying to take it.
A nice attempt there. Whoa, you can get 6 men in your Assault Grenadier squads? Oh my goodness. Oh, you can add a veteran squad leader. That adds a man? Does that mean you can have 5-man Grenadiers? No, okay, it only goes on to Assault Grenadier squads. Man, that's kind of cool though. That's a new... I've not seen that before. That's awesome. So you can have 6-man Assault Grenadier squads. That's pretty scary. That's like... Yeah, that's a really nice thing for Vermac to have access to. Centaur here, unsupported, going to get pushed out of town by the Axis forces. And if I crack the tack here, both forces basically repairing their heavies and taking a moment here before the next serious engagement. But yeah, the Allied position is so compacted. He could send one unit of Tommies just down the left flank to try and get a VP, because right now, obviously, bleeding out right now is OP. 3-star of veterancy finally gets up on one of these pack guns. Oh my goodness me, they are doing such work, these pack guns. And you know what? I actually think that the UKF could really use some indirect fire support here. I hate advocating a mortar position because I think that they're really dull and quite boring, and they very rarely provide value. Oh, the UKF sniper did not miss the kill on that man. He gets shot by a Tiger's main cannon, and you don't survive those. But yeah, I feel like UKF could really use some indirect fire to help deal with these pack guns. An Ava would be amazing, but obviously he doesn't have the cap for it. A mortar pit would be serviceable because Langreskaya is such a small map that the mortar pit is actually kind of okay, but I hate having to build a mortar pit, or I hate recommending that anyone build them because they're just not very good. So, okay, he's going to push through. This pack gun in jeopardy, actually. UKF retaking middle of map, and he's going to get out from under this triple cap. So just, yeah, because the Tiger is needing to repair here, that's providing the window where OP can move in and get some stuff done. Artillery barrage comes down on this mortar. The British base going to be throwing some shells across the map, complete with air-bursting frag. And, yeah, UKF take middle of field again, so 215 over 119 and counting for our Axis player. No UKF able to move into the west, though, to grab the VP over here. What an interesting battle. I think both of these players basically have been playing really well with very few, if any, major mistakes, which is why we see like so many stars of veterancy and so few squad wipes this game. I mean, obviously some units have been lost, but nothing too crucial. But this Tiger comes forward very aggressively, taking a ton of fire. He comes forward again. This is so dangerous. There is no smoke on this Tiger. Oh my god, he's in danger of getting spit roasted by two Churchills, but he does reverse at the crucial moment. AT gun still in the hood though. This Tiger nearly down to like 25% health. Keeps kiting back though. The two Churchills coming in deep. Pack guns here, firing shells in, getting great hits. And somehow both players look like they're actually going to escape with most of their units. Okay, Squad of Pioneers goes down, but they escape with all of their tanks somehow. Pack gun's going to come forward again. They just want more shots, and they're going to find them. Tiger as well coming in, unafraid, despite being heavily wounded, unafraid of these Churchills. And that's the advantage of the Tiger. It does have range and it does have power, so You can just
They
sort
have
of
100 points remaining.
keep your spacing to those British heavies and just continuously chip rounds in with the Tiger, and that's how you feed yourself veterancy. And you know, once you get to 2 and 3 stars, this Tiger starts getting really nasty. So you get Blitzkrieg, then you get Spearhead, greater accuracy and greater range. Fire with greater frequency and navigate the battlefield with ease. So Spearhead ability. I don't remember the Spearhead ability. Okay, so that is a severely wounded Churchill. The Tiger is stalking. And he does have access to Blitzkrieg. Whoa, the Centaur goes down. A pack gun, I believe, picking that one off. And this Churchill weak right now. Where's the British AT gun? In the base. So this Tiger... Okay, he's going to fall it back because it's so wounded and he can't afford to lose the Tiger. But the British force is beginning to come undone a bit. These Churchills are going to be off the line for a long while as they do get repaired. Actually, you know what? Once they get the hammer set, don't the British Royal Engineers... Sorry, the anvil set. Don't the British Royal Engineers repair insanely fast? Is that a thing I'm remembering correctly? Heavy engineers. Repair faster, yeah. Okay, yeah, so actually these Churchills, look how fast they repair. That's so cool. So yeah, the Churchill's actually going to get turned around in like no time. Double cap established for OP. 82 tickets remaining for Expensive Runner, and in true Langreskaya style, we're seeing this one come down to a very, very tense late game where it's going to come down to every second of possession on these victory points. Going to be absolutely decisive.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
Both forces just sort of jockeying for position right now whilst tending to their injured units. This Tiger desperately needs repairs. Where are the Pioneers? They're repairing the Stug E. That's fair enough because the Stug E is also a very important part of this German army. I would love him to get another Stug E. He doesn't have the manpower. Okay, whoa. The Tiger just unafraid. I will give this to Expensive Runner. He seems to know exactly how much of a risk he can take with this Tiger, and he's using it so well. If this was me, I would be like so worried about losing my Tiger, but see how he fearlessly comes forward with it. Where's the British AT gun? Okay, not quite in position to be taking shots. 2-star vet now on the Tiger. Enhanced range and accuracy. And it has access to the Spearhead ability. Grants the Spearhead ability. Where is this Spearhead ability? Somebody tell me what this Spearhead ability is. I don't remember it, and I can't see a button or any kind of tooltip for it, so I'm curious about what the Spearhead ability is. If anyone knows, please do tell me. Is this a thing off of Commander? No. Okay. Not sure. 75 tickets now remaining for the Axis player, who has managed to secure a crucial VP, so he's extending his playtime in this game. And that's what he needs to do. He just needs to hold 2 of these VPs. That's the name of the game right now for Expensive Runner. And if he can take a fight where he manages to break one of the Churchills, then there's a possibility that he can overrun with the Stug and the Tiger. Tiger getting repaired, so that thing now back at full health. Both of the Churchills looking combat ready. The second one going to be repaired in pretty quick time by these heavy engineers. UKF making a play here in West, and there is a bunker, but that's not going to deter these forces. So it's going to be back on Expensive Runner to get something done. Indeed, even East Victory Point here going to be coming under threat. These Tommies very brave, yeah. The fullback is going to have to come down. Whoa, the Tiger angling forward, getting super cocky. Using this building here to screen line of sight from this AT gun means that it's actually just going to come down to Churchill versus Tiger in brutal combat here. And that's a fight that the Tiger will take every day. Has the Churchill down to 50% health and just funking round after round into the British heavy. The Tiger's armor proof against the inferior gun on that Churchill. And this AT gun, I mean, it's trying, but you cannot shoot rounds through this building. And so the Tiger can just hold this position, now mowing down infantry freely, forcing those units back. But in West, the victory point gets taken. So in a second here, Expensive Runner is going to be bleeding again. He has to push mid or west. He has to do it now. He can't afford to be bleeding these tickets. And, oh man, I would just love for him to have another Stug gun, man. I know he doesn't have the manpower. Okay, now he does. I would just love for him to call in that Stug. Okay, so the AT gun here is exposed. The Stug E takes the opportunity to pounce. The Tiger still dueling with a Churchill in north. Meanwhile, Churchill 2 comes round for the attempted spit roast on the Tiger, stops to take a shot at the Stug. Incendiary mortars come down. Both of the pack guns get destroyed. The Tiger caught out here in danger of being spit roasted. Blitzkrieg comes down in order to present front armor to the British Heavy, and the Churchills know that they've lost the moment here, so they have to get out. Still one of the pack guns is firing on a pixel. I thought for sure the crew would be burned out, but they're not going to, and now the Churchills are kind of disoriented and piled up on one another. The Tiger comes in. There's blood in the water right now for this Axis Heavy. He knows he could probably get a shot if he just rotates around this building, and he does. Smoke comes down off of the Churchills, but I don't think it's going to last long enough. There comes the shot, but this Churchill's still alive on a pixel of health. Where's the British AT gun? Oh yeah, it got destroyed. So it's just Tiger versus Churchills now. The Tiger, though, did it overextend? He gets one Churchill. That's what he came for, but now I think he gets out. The AT gun cannot be recrewed. So the Tiger is probably going to be able to get out here. There's no Piats, no other AT threat on this infantry. So that's pretty big. That's pretty big. He's down at 54 tickets. He has destroyed a Churchill. He needs to get something done in terms of field control right now. This Tiger is just fearless. And now we have a Firefly coming. And that has to be the correct choice. I like the Firefly. This is a field on which a Firefly counters all... Okay, so he does go for the second Stuggy. I'm super happy about that. Yeah, expensive runner gets that. But yeah, this Firefly is going to make life so hard for the German player. So he needs to repair this Tiger. Okay, so yeah, finally Pioneers get here, and he knows... Look at that, see, he knows he needs to capture this point as well. So, okay, expensive runner, 48 tickets, and manages to stop the clock. He's still in this game for now. Man, this Tiger has been so good. 17 kills. Here comes the Firefly, though. We're just going to have to see now how this pans out. This all comes down to decision-making in terms of positioning and how hard you want to commit your units and when, at which opportunities. How is this thing? Okay, yeah, nearly 3 stars of vet. This Stuggy has been such a little hero. Flum. The Firefly makes its presence known, immediately scoring a penetrating hit. And a second one. Axis armor is forced away. Churchill plus Firefly is a much better combo than Churchill plus Churchill. I just like it more. And here's a little secret that British players, I just never see them do, but it's something you can do, right? You can build more than one Firefly. I know it doesn't often look good, but there are circumstances when 2 Fireflies is the way forward, and I just feel like British players never do that. Holy spoons! This Churchill applying such pressure to the big cat. The Firefly comes forward looking for a shot, but it's not going to get it. 2 pack guns here to cover. Grenade comes out of the Churchill onto this MG. Boom! There goes the squad. And every squad right now, every loss for both of these players, ultra crucial, but a triple cap for the Axis player. And he doesn't need to keep this up for long. UKF down at 146 tickets right now. This game hangs in the balance of these next few moments. How's the fight going to be put together involving the Firefly and this Tiger? Because they're both going to be obliged to commit in the minutes to come here. There's just not enough time left in this game where you can sit back waiting for your moment and repairing your tank. There's going to be a forced commitment. And look at the top left, look at the top right, look how well balanced and even these forces are. This has been such a close and well-matched game here. A bunker in a decent position, actually, harassing and slowing down these UKF. Going to try and prevent them from taking the Eastern VP. Center VP being contested by Assault Grenadiers against Tommies. The Assault Grenadiers going to hold for now, but a Churchill will force them back, assuming all other things are equal. West remains in Axis hands. Pack gun chewing away at the Churchill. Where's the Firefly right now? It's taking shots at infantry in south. I think it just got a squad wipe on some Pioneers. No, that was the bunker. Okay, sorry, it takes out the bunker. Okay, Tiger commits. The Firefly slaps it one on the chin, but the Tiger comes in deep. Blitzkrieg is used, so this represents a commitment. I think this is it for an expensive runner. He wants the Firefly. A miss from the Firefly and a miss from the Tiger. This Tiger now in severe jeopardy. I don't think he gets out with this Tiger now because the Churchill's in a fantastic position. 3 stars of veterancy comes down. Bear in mind, okay, how long until Blitzkrieg is left? 30 seconds, so this Tiger just has to deal with the it has to lie in the bed it's made for itself. One more hit will do it. This Churchill providing super fierce fire. The Firefly's turret aligns, but it's not needed. The Churchill manages to get a kill on the Tiger. Interestingly enough, the Churchill only abandoned here, so that can be salvaged. But yeah, does he have the resources for another Tiger? Nearly. He needs like 200 more manpower, but that may be 200 too much. At this point in the game, that represents a minute's worth of saving with like nearly no reinforcing of your squads, and that's going to be hard to do for Expensive Runner. Not impossible. He could get another Tiger, but now he's getting another Tiger into a 1-star vet Firefly, and that was an interesting move there. Expensive Runner felt obliged to commit into that opportunity to take out the Firefly. I don't know that he had to. I think he could have waited there, but look how good this Firefly has been. It's been on the field for like barely 2 or 3 minutes, and it's already essentially, as near as makes no difference, vet 2. I mean, so effective, man. Fireflies are so scary. And remember, UKF players, you can build 2 of them. Like, it's allowed. The game parameters allow you to have 2 Fireflies. I just never see it. And I know that represents a lot of hard AT, and you know that's a lot of supply cap in Fireflies, but there are some circumstances and some maps where I just see UKF players and I'm like, you could build a second Firefly now and it would be brutal. And it's like, they just never do. Anyway. Wow, so yeah, the Axe's roster now severely depleted. 47 supply, under 84, 44 tickets, under 120. Field control right now. He's going to actually establish a double cap, so lights aren't completely out for an Expensive Runner, but it's a hard place to find himself. He's going to be able to buy himself a new Tiger now, and he does immediately. He has to. I think that's the only line of play which has even close to the amount of power required for him to break back into this game, but I'm not even convinced it's going to be enough. Actually, you know what? If he can get the Firefly, there's no other hard AT for the UKF. Oh, wow. The Churchill comes well far forward, trying to lure out a response. Trying to scout out where are the AT resources for the Axis player. Going to feed some veterancy onto this Tiger. Probably not so significant when the game is so close to its close. 45 plus minutes on Langraskaya. Not every game on Langraskaya goes this far, but this one has. This has been very well matched. And yeah, definitely the underdog right now is Expensive Runner. He's 44 tickets under 111, and his army at the top left, I mean, you've got to say you prefer this UKF army. Look at the amount of veterancy, look at the diversity of these squads, look at the utility they provide, and as long as the Firefly still lives, I prefer OP's position on this game. So we'll have to see what happens. It's going to come down to this moving forward. Tommy's going to try and make a play to capture mid-VP. Assault Grenadiers use sprint. They're the ideal squad for this now. They are in negative cover. That's a bit sketchy. The Firefly just chunking rounds into these Axis vehicles. It's so horrible to watch for the Axis player. But there's nothing you can do about it. The Tiger comes forward, takes one on the chin, but the Firefly takes a ton of hits from pack guns. It's in jeopardy. The Tiger comes forward. No Blitzkrieg, remember. Gets another hit. He gets the Firefly! You had one job. Oh well, he gets the Firefly. That's so big. That's so big. Another Firefly though, immediately able to be constructed. Axis forces right now holding on to 2 VPs. These heroic Assault Grenadiers going to prevent the cap coming through. So he's not on the clock just yet as Expensive Runner. The Tiger's engine is ruined. But that's okay because there's nothing that can threaten it, and this Firefly is like another minute away or so. Wow, I can't believe he got that Firefly. These pack guns have been heroes, man. Pack guns are so good. And like UKF are desperately trying to take this, but like sending infantry into the teeth of 2 Stug E's. 1 vet 2, 1 vet 3. I mean, that's tough. That's tough. But now Axis forces also being sent into the teeth of a Vickers gun to try and recapture that point. Also quite tough. So a bit of a stalemate. Although, UKF threatening the Western VP. But I mean, the 2 Stugs are still in position. And they are still going to just drench these guys in fire. Did this Stug just shoot the other one in the back to break its engine? That is not teamwork, my friends. Oh well, anyway, these Stugs, look at them go, they're just hurling shells into the allied positions. Really nice work. The Firefly is on the field and committing into the front here. The Tiger still not repaired. The engine is still not even repaired even. So that's really big, actually. That means this Firefly could easily get the final tap onto this Tiger. He has to know there's another Firefly coming. Oh god, the Tiger is dead for sure. Look at it go. It's on like, is it? The Firefly should take the shot. Oh wow, he's not far enough forward? Okay, the Tiger may be able to limp away. He's on mines. If he gets hit right now, main gun is destroyed, so the Tiger has to get out. And he's back under a double cap. Yeah, he's under a double cap right now. 29 tickets disappearing fast for Expensive Runner. Churchill pushing in west, more or less unopposed. The pack guns have died, and Expensive Runner sees the writing on the wall. He is going to admit defeat to his opponent in a very close and well-fought game. Both players there taking that one right down to the wire, it feels like. That game really could have gone either way based on the decisions and like the way that those final few engagements came together with the armored units. Wow, what a game! I mean, it's really hard to criticize either player. I think they both played really well. A pleasure to cast. I feel like there was a large portion of the mid game where the trench in this location was dominant with a Vickers gun in it, and it was that phase of domination which put such ticket pressure onto Expensive Runner. If he was able to deflect that lock a little bit earlier, he would have had more tickets in the late game and not felt so forced to try and take fights, which, you know, means that he would have been able to take better fights, and that would have just changed the texture of the late game. I'm not saying it would have been enough. I'm not even saying that possibly Expensive Runner could have dealt with that trench, but if he'd have gotten an earlier mortar squad, I feel like he could have pressured this position a lot more. Even if you don't destroy the trench, the units inside are not invulnerable. Mortars landing on here can and will damage the squad and kill infantrymen, so you force the Vickers gun back, and that gives you the window to move in and take the victory points. And, you know, if you keep doing it, you will destroy the trench as well, so there's that. Yeah, so beyond that, though, I mean, it's difficult to advocate getting a mortar squad as well when you are the commander who can call in Stug E's. So I do totally understand why he waited for the Stug E. It's just a better unit. You don't really want a mortar squad polluting your unit composition later on in the game when you could have access to Stug E's. I mean, they're just better. So yeah, it's difficult to advocate getting a mortar squad. I just feel like somehow he just needed to... I mean, the other thing a mortar squad could have done, actually, now I think about it, is put down smoke on this trench, and that also enables you to come forward and challenge the lock that the UKF player was able to have on the middle of the map in the mid-game. So maybe a mortar squad was a good idea. I don't know. The Axis sniper did die at some point. Didn't catch that on the screen, but you know, that's always a bit of blow for the Axis player. I feel like, though, the Axis sniper survived through to the point in the game where losing him is less consequential. So that wasn't so much of a big tipping moment. The plays with the Tiger were really nice. I feel like generally Expensive Runner's Tiger control that game was really good. Taking the dive to try and get the Churchills and getting out repeatedly was great. Taking the dive when he knew he could to get the first Firefly, really nice as well. But in the end, it just wasn't quite enough. Fireflies on a map this small are so dominating, and when as the Axis player you are relying on Tiger and Stug E's to carry you in the late game, as well you might, I mean that's how the faction is designed. On a map like Langraskaya, the Firefly threatens everywhere at once because it's such a small map. The Firefly has such range, it can move in about 4 seconds to be wherever your Tiger is, to be shooting at that Tiger or at those Stug E's. And in the end, the Firefly just provided too much value. Sure, it died, but another one arrived. The Firefly provided too much value. And hey, Churchills seem really good now. Like, I saw a ton of penetrating hits from those Churchills through the front armor of that Tiger. So I totally understand why OP here deciding to go for a brace of Churchills. And damn, they look scary. They actually look really good. So sweet unit choices, sweet unit control, and in the end, a well-won victory here for OP. That's going to conclude this video. Thank you all very much for watching. And this, for now, is Magpie842 signing out.